Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is CHESTNUT.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Women were devastated to read this headline that read, Morris Chestnut reveals he's been married 27 years and never wanted to play the field. It quotes him saying, "I know I have a good woman." I thought this was a really interesting topic because I left a comment in response to another comment that I read, which I thought was interesting. You know, when people hear about these type of stories and these type of celebrities who have long-lasting marriages, the general consensus between women is, wow, they don't make them like that anymore. And when they say that, they're not talking about the women, they're talking about the men, right? Women naively assume that the reason why these relationships are successful are due to the men that these women are married to. And they never for a second think, what are these women like? Because they just assume that all women who are married must be wonderful wives. You can't say he's got a good woman. You have to say he's got a good man, because women can do no wrong. But I've noticed a pattern with the women who have happy marriages in Hollywood and the ones that don't. And I think the pattern's the same kind of in real life too, to a certain extent. For example, if you look at marriages that most people would look at and say, oof, I don't think I would want that for myself. You know, the Will Smith and Jada situation, Sierra, Russell Wilson. They're usually the type of marriages where the women kind of want to share the spotlight with their man, share the lead with their man, constantly trying to paint their own narrative for what a marriage should be, as in they don't really know how to play the background. AKA let their man lead, shine, be submissive while they are okay being wives. Now, I understand these are celebrities we're talking about, but I think a lot of this stuff can translate to real life. For example, I think you would agree with me if I say the more a married woman spends time on social media, and from what we see constantly, the more likely that she puts her relationship in jeopardy. The same women who, for some reason, have red table talks and reveal secrets about their marriages and write books probably have the same mindset as the women who are on TikTok, who complain about their husbands and want to tell the whole world about their marital problems. And like that chick, she wasn't famous, the regular chick who got her husband's job fired or put his job at risk. She's a stay-at-home mom because all the feminine rage that she created on the internet resulted in them calling his job and trying to get him fired, etc. What I'm trying to say is there's a different disposition when it comes to marriages, even in Hollywood, where the couple seem to be successful and they don't really want any recognition. In fact, they want people to stay out of their business. I think of Denzel Washington and his wife, right? You don't see her talking shit about her husband in interviews. And she's been in interviews before. I don't think I've ever heard Morris Chestnut's wife ever speak. But again, my main point is a lot of women were on there commenting about like, oh, he's a real man, because basically, they don't hear about the problems. And to assume that because they don't talk about their marital problems publicly, that their marital problems don't exist, I think is a bit of a stretch. Call me crazy, but I think people who think that Denzel or Morris Chestnut have never dealt with problems of like infidelity, you see millions of women getting thrown at them. If you think they've never dealt with that, then I think you underestimate the power of fame and just how difficult relationships must be. I think more credit should be given to the woman for sure, and the man, in them being able to maintain that relationship and marriage privately. The truth is, I think if either one of those couples spoke out about the difficulties they've had, modern women would say, oh, you're a pick-me. You should leave that relationship. Because to them, it's like, oh, they're perfect, right? Because we don't hear anything. When really they probably just know that sharing their own problems would result in probably more negative perspective and situation going forward and problems overall, because most people are delusional and marriage to them is this fairy tale fantasy. For example, when Michelle Obama started to talk about the reality of her marriage, about how she said for a lot of time she would feel like she was the main one taking care of things at home. It felt like a 70-30 split, I think she said, or 60-40 split, where they prioritized Obama's goals in life. I mean, he was going to be president of the United States, but women disagreed with that. A lot of women, if they were in the position of Michelle, would have thought, no, I should come first. I should come first before a nation or a country or president, because that's just how awesome they think they are. I hope you guys get my point here. Point isn't to say that Morris Chestnut played the field, because I think if it was a serious problem, we probably would have heard about it. But it's the idea that when people see a story like this, it doesn't think to themselves, well, how can we work things through? They think to themselves, well, this just confirms that I need to attract a man like Morris Chestnut and it will be the most perfect marriage. No, I think every marriage has its issues and it's so hard work. And I think overall what to remember here is, number one, obviously Morris Chestnut had sexual discipline, which I think every man should have. And two, I think he has the type of wife who values their marriage so much that she's not going to go to some tabloid somewhere or try to release any details about their marriage that would jeopardize what they have together. It takes both of those two people willing to work through all that. As always, we're going to check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. First comment here says, my whole life been a lie waiting for him. 500 likes. Yeah, a lot of women love Morris Chestnut. Another comment here says, I mean, hell, he gets to kiss and fake love women left and right for a living. So I can see how it feels to have that same one woman at home that you know and love versus all of these fake relationships you act for. Laugh out loud. No. Another comment here says, was hurt when I found out he got a wife. They've been married since the year I was born. Yeah, that's a pretty long time. I'm 29, so they've been married for almost my entire life too. Another woman here says, Lord, hello, it's me. I was wondering if, yeah, Sierra's prayer. Another comment here says, it's actually a lot of men like this. This woman says, was married to one, but he passed. And I have several male friends who love their wives and work and take care of them. It's the crowd they hang with, their religious beliefs, their morals, which is true, and the way they were raised. We don't give men enough credit, this woman says sometimes. Yes, it's a lot of bad ones, but it's also a good amount of great ones. That's a great comment, man. Yeah. As always, guys, curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.